Today, we will be reviewing a product demonstration of Autodesk Vault Professional, which is a very critical element in the Autodesk digital prototyping story. In this presentation, we will be covering typical workflows and challenges from a customer called VMEC. VMEC is the market leader in lightweight forest machinery. Today's agenda will include adding non-CAD data to the Vault, tracking an engineering change, collaborating with some non-CAD users. We're also going to show you how to reuse an old design. We're going to show you some best-in-class CAD integrations, and we're also going to show you getting the approval process of a new design so that we can then share that data with downstream business systems. All right, let's talk about the scenario for today's demonstration. In this situation, VMEC is launching a brand new model called the VMEC 630. At the same time, Honda is replacing the GX600 motor with a newly designed GX620. In an effort to reduce costs, we at VMEC want to reuse as much of the old GX600 muffler as we possibly can. That being said, some small changes will need to be made to accommodate the new engine. Let's get started with a brief introduction to Autodesk Vault Explorer. Explorer is our desktop view into the Vault. It looks very much like Windows Explorer. You see over on the left-hand side the file structure there. You have My Work List with ECOs. That's where those are stored. Shortcuts so you can get to files faster. Over on the right-hand side is where we're able to see file properties or metadata, which is all of the information we can search on. Those properties can also be edited with associativity back to the file. The bottom pane there is where we're able to interact with those files that are stored in the Vault. Engineering Manager. VMEC's Engineering Manager needs better visibility into the change process. He's judged on how long it takes to make those changes. Let's go ahead and log into the Vault as the Engineering Manager. I want to add some files that are relevant to our 630 project. So I'm just going to drag and drop the folder from my Windows Explorer into the Vault Explorer. Add a quick note to let everyone on the team know what I'm adding, that it's documents relevant to the 630 project. Once we get those documents added, they're now in the Vault and everybody's going to have access to them. We have some pictures, but more importantly, we have a product manual for the new GX620 that Honda is wanting us to use. Let's do a quick search for the old 600 muffler assembly. Now we're going to be coming back to this a lot, so let's make a shortcut. We can see the preview of that assembly in our window below. Not only that, but we can also see the components that are used inside of this assembly, but more importantly, we can see where this assembly is used. So we will be able to know if we make changes what this could affect. Let's go take a look at the motor assembly. I had one of the engineers go ahead and swap out the old 600 with the new 620. We can see all the history of those files there for the new ones that came in. We can also do a quick preview. And we can spin this around a little bit, and we notice that, yep, we are definitely going to have to do some adjustment here. And we did not even need a seat of CAD. We need to get this modification started. So real easily, we just right-click on our motor assembly and start a brand new engineering change order. We just need to type a quick note to the engineer so that they know that we want to use as much of the old GX600 muffler as possible on the new GX620. We see the new engine assembly file is attached to our ECO. All we need to do is save it and submit this so that the engineer can get started. The engineer. The engineers at VMEC need to communicate with non-CAD users. They also have to find and reuse data quickly so that they can stay on a schedule and manage change more efficiently. I come back to my desk and notice that there's an ECO notification that's also in my work list. Let's go ahead and click it and see what the boss wants me to do. I see that he wants me to use as much as the old muffler design as possible for the new engine. There is a file attached, so let's click on it and see, since it's been a while since I worked on the VMEC assembly. I can rotate the assembly around and see what he is talking about. And this shouldn't be a problem, but I'm still going to want to check with the manufacturing manager before I get too far in changing this design to make sure that the modifications aren't going to cause him any problems later on. I need to do a quick search for the 600 because I don't want to spend time redrawing all this when I've already done it once. I'm just going to make a copy of the design. Real easy, I can just right click on the folder or on the component and make a copy of the design. While we're at it, I'm going to put everything in a separate folder because I want to reuse some components, but some of the components I need to make brand new again. So I'll just type in new muffler design, stick it over there in the feature tree, and we'll be off and running. The preview is really nice because that way I can see what I want to copy and what I want to reuse again. So we'll copy the whole assembly, those 2 pipes, and we'll add a prefix to it so that we know that it's going to be the new design. Vault gives us a warning that we are making modifications to an existing assembly and that files are about to be copied or replaced. We get a new folder structure and new files that are created. So I don't have to worry about any other designs that may use the old muffler or the pipes that I copied. I want to attach this new assembly to that existing ECO so that we can track the changes all together. I can do a quick search in there, find that ECO, and attach it. We see that the files are attached, and we can also see some other people that may need to be attached to this as well. But I'm going to go ahead, let the boss know that we're working on this because I know he has a meeting, and we want to get this in process. Manufacturing. BMEC's manufacturing team struggles with communicating with engineering and with purchasing. They also want to help assess the manufacturability of a product earlier in the process. I'm going to go ahead and log into the Vault with the web client because I need secure access to the Vault and don't have a seat of cat on the shop floor. I can customize this interface, and with a Vault Office license, I could check in non-CAD files. Let's go and take a look into the Vault. We can see the pictures and the PDFs that the engineering manager loaded earlier today. But let's go ahead and get started on this muffler. So let's do a search for 600, and we can see what files are used in this assembly. We can also see where this assembly is used, just like they would with the Desktop Vault Explorer. The only reason I'm able to see these files is because I'm the manufacturing manager. One of my guys wouldn't be able to see files that are in work in progress. So let's go ahead and do a quick preview and say, yep, we definitely need to be making a change here. I also have the rights to be able to right-click and open this up in the design review in its own window. Let's make a couple of quick markups to see what needs to be changed and if any of these changes will affect anything else in the manufacturing or the assembly process. Once we get done doing these markups, I'm going to go ahead and email this markup to the engineer and let him know that if all he changes are these 2 pipes and rotates these flanges, we're going to be okay. I open my Outlook and see that the manufacturing manager has emailed me a markup. I want to keep track of all the documentation that deals with this project, so let's check this email into the Vault through Outlook. Let's create a folder so we can store all the markups in one spot, because I'm sure this isn't going to be the only one. It says 2 files have been checked into the Vault. Let's go take a look. It also checked in the email as well as the markup, so all communications about this project can be stored in the Vault. We can see from the markup what needs to be done. So let's go back to the ECO and open the file directly from there. We don't need to check out the engine to do our work. The first thing we need to do is replace the old GX600 muffler with the newly copied one. So let's do a replace inside of Inventor and search the Vault to find that new muffler. We can check out the assembly or just make the changes and be prompted to after the changes are made, but let's just do it now. When we go to the Vault view inside of Inventor, we see that we have ownership of the motor assembly, but we also need ownership of the new muffler assembly as well. Anyone else on the design team can be working on some of these components, but not the ones that we have checked out. Let's use some of the new direct editing tools in Inventor to make these changes. With the Vault, we can now do concurrent engineering, meaning several engineers can be working on an assembly or on certain components in that assembly, only checking out the files that they need and nothing else. Once the change is made, the others are notified and they can choose to update or not. This is one of the major benefits of having a Vault, being able to improve your design processes and making sure that you have access to the latest and greatest and improving your whole design team's efficiency. It will help you get to market faster. Let's check the assembly back in so that we can let the boss know that the muffler has been updated so that the manufacturing and the purchasing processes can begin on the new muffler. Back in the vault, we can submit the ECO for a fast-track approval process. I get back from my meeting, and a notification lets me know that the ECO is completed, and all that I need to do is set the efficiency to today and create items for the engine and muffler assembly so that the purchasing and manufacturing processes can begin. Creating items is just a right-click away. Let's take a look at the BOM. We can selectively turn on rows in the cases where some items may need longer lead times, or we can just turn them all on if we need to get the entire assembly in the process. Let's reorder the newly created muffler assembly up to the top simply by dragging and dropping. We also need to change the numbering. We don't want the numbers to match the name of the components. We are able to customize the numbering process to meet our company's requirements. Let's add an existing maintenance kit to the BOM list. All we need to do is search in the vault for main and add it to it. We see that it's comprised of some filters, some oil, and a spark plug. We save and close the item list. Let's go change the state of those items so that we can release them to our downstream business systems. All of the files are released and ready for production. Let's export them to our downstream business systems. We can choose several different export options. Let's choose the XML option. Type in a quick name, and now we can view the list and see what the results are. Let's recap the presentation. We used Vault to store and manage non-CAD data. We started the change process with an ECO, also added files to the engineering change order, even collaborated with non-CAD users, copied an existing design so that we didn't have to start from scratch. We tracked changes to the data, and finally shared the data with downstream business systems. Autodesk Vault Professional gets you to the finish line faster with less effort. It's the backbone of Autodesk digital prototyping, helping you make great products.